Hello everyone, I am Dr. Mili and today we will continue with the last topic, early classification of element. Early classification of elements may we have already gone through Dubinier triad, which has given us idea that we can arrange the element in order of their increasing atomic masses. Fine. Next is Newland's law of octave, which has compared his classification with musical octave, and just because he was talking about the musical octave, he emphasized on the term called periodicity in the properties. That is, as in musical octave, every eighth note repeats itself. In the same way, the properties of elements also repeat after a certain interval. This concept was given by Newland. But it was discarded just because of some flaw in it, just like new element discovered did not get the place in the Newland's octave. Apart from that, for the lower element, Newland's law of octave was working very well. But as we go for the higher element, the elements were not placed in a proper manner. So it was discarded. But efforts were going on and scientists were working very hard on this classification because scientists knew that classification is very important for the proper understanding of elements. Hence, a Russian scientist called Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev presented his table in 1869 and it was published in 1872. This table was very special just because the working style of Mendeleev was very different from others. He just concentrated on the properties of element and he was arranging the element in order of the increasing masses of these elements. So what he decided is that whatever the element is there, he wanted to react them with the two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So what he decided is that I will react the element with hydrogen and oxygen, and according to the formula, according to the type of oxide and hydride formed by the element, I will arrange them. उसके टाइम पर only 63 elements were present. He reacted each and every element with oxygen and with hydrogen. With hydrogen, elements make hydrides, and with oxygen, elements makes oxides. Now the very first question is that why oxygen and hydrogen he selected for reaction with another kind of elements. The reason here is that oxygen and hydrogen are very reactive and both of them react with most of the element. That is why he decided to react every element with these two. So that depending on the behavior of the oxide and hydrides, he will classify them according to chemical properties. So very first thing is that you have to remember is number of element discovered that time, Mendeleev's time, that was 63. Second thing, the element with which he reacted all the element discovered that time, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Third thing is why he selected hydrogen and oxygen, because these are very reactive elements. Now let us talk about how did he do that. Actually what he did is whatever the element he was finding, he write down the element, name of the element on a separate card, and he kept that card along with the type of oxide and hydroxide made by it. For an example, if I am getting lithium, suppose he reacted the lithium with oxygen. So what formula lithium will form? Li2O. And then he reacted lithium with hydrogen. What formula of the hydride will be formed? LiH. Because we now know that lithium makes Li plus and hydrogen makes H minus. So lithium hydride formula is LiH. Lithium oxide Li plus and O minus 2. So the formula becomes Li2O. So these are the oxide and hydrides made by lithium. So he made the card for the lithium. And when he reacted sodium with the same element, when he reacted the sodium with the same element, that is oxide formed is sodium oxide and hydride formed sodium hydride. You can see here the basic formula of these two oxides. The type of oxide formed by lithium and sodium were almost same kind of. I can write down a general formula for the hydride and oxide made by lithium kind of element. For an example, I can write the hydride formula as RH. You can compare here. R is the element which is reacting here, whether it is lithium or it is sodium, or if I do it for the potassium, this will also do the same, that is KH it will form and K2O will be formed, and the same formula RH will be applied for all the hydride of the elements, all the hydride made by these type of elements of same kind of. So what is happening? RH is the general formula for all the hydrides of these kind of element. So इसका मतलब है if the hydrides are same, okay, they are showing same kind of properties. Let's see the oxide. The formula of oxide is R2O. You can see here Li2O, Na2O, K2O, means the general formula of the oxide becomes R2O. It means that they are forming same kind of oxides also. So if they are forming same kind of hydride, same kind of oxide, the formula is same. That is why he has kept them in a single group. Together he kept them. But just because the mass of the lithium is the lowest, he has kept it earlier. So he kept the element from up to down in increasing order. Left to right side also he was keeping them in order of increasing atomic masses. So what he did was he arranged the elements in order of atomic masses as well as on the basis of their chemical properties. Chemical properties with oxygen and hydrogen, means hydrides and oxide. So this was the frame of his table. Let us first understand what is his table, how many groups were there, how many periods were there in his table, and what are the rest of the things in his table. So let's recognize the table. Let's talk about the table first. In this table you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 groups are there. That is, we are going vertically when we are in group. Second thing is period. You can see here these are the period from 1 to 6. There are 6 periods in his table. Apart from that, you must be observing here that every group here, first group, second group, third group, every group up to 7th is divided into A and B subpart. He divided each and every group into 2 subgroups, subgroup A and subgroup B. So you can see here subgroup A and subgroup B. In subgroup A and subgroup B, what was the purpose behind that? He was doing that element which are kept in the subgroup A are very different from the element which are kept in the subgroup B. You can see here the example. In subgroup A, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. All these elements are very good metals and all these elements make positive 1 charge. Li plus, sodium plus, potassium plus, rubidium plus. So all these are very good metals which are kept on the A subgroup. But on the right hand side when you can see B subgroup mein we are having copper, silver, gold. So because he was keeping 2 different kind of elements, very reactive like sodium, lithium, potassium, and very less reactive, that is copper, silver and gold. These are very less reactive. They are kept very downside in the reactivity series, and these 2 different kind of element he was keeping together. That is why he decided that I will keep the element in 2 groups, 2 subgroups. Why he was keeping them together? The reason was the type of oxide and the hydrides form. Just like this lithium is following the formula R2O. If I make the formula of copper, it will form copper oxide Cu2O. And if I go for the hydride of the copper, it will form CuH also. So you can see here the same kind of oxide and hydrides copper is also making. Because he was arranging the element according to the chemical properties, according to the formula made by the element, he has to keep them with these elements. But because internally he was knowing that he was keeping 2 very different kind of elements together, he separated out them in the 2 different subgroups. So you can see here from the first group to the 7th group, he divided all groups into 2 subgroups. Apart from that, you can see here in the 8th group, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 elements kept in the group of 3. That is iron, cobalt, nickel, ruthenium, rhodium and palladium, osmium, iridium and platinum. These 3 plus 3 plus 3, that is 9 elements were kept in the 8th group without giving any explanation regarding their chemical properties. Another drawback of Mendel's periodic table was the position of hydrogen in his table. As you can see here, hydrogen is kept in the first group, and in the first group rest of the elements are metallic. You can see here that lithium, sodium, potassium, copper, silver, gold, these kind of elements which are metals, these are kept in the first group. On the other hand side, this hydrogen is there which is non-metal. Although the hydrogen shows its resemblance with the first group element, like it makes H plus ion, just like sodium and potassium makes these ion. So just like sodium and potassium, it makes H plus ion. But This hydrogen also show its resemblance in properties with seventh group element. In seventh group element, we have fluorine, which makes fluoride. We have chlorine, which makes chloride. We have bromine, which make bromide. Same way, hydrogen can also form hydrides. So, if hydrogen is resembling with the first group element as well as seventh group element, why the hydrogen is given position in the first group, although it is not a non-metal. It should be kept here among the non-metal. Okay. Apart from that, there is one more thing you can observe here. These three boxes which are blank in the Mendeleev's periodic table, these are the left spaces for the undiscovered element. Undiscovered element means जो कि तब तक डिस्कवर नहीं हुए थे, but Mendeleev had an idea that somewhere, somehow, whenever they will be discovered, this will be the spaces of these elements. It was actually a great achievement for the Mendeleev's periodic table that he predicted the unknown element. Not only predicted the element, he predicted the property of the element. He has given the position in the periodic table of these elements. So it was a great achievement. So what these three elements were, I am going to write it down here. First of all, see the position. Aluminium के नीचे वाला एक aluminium. After the boron, एक boron. After the silicon, there was एक silicon. Whenever these elements were discovered, they were kept in the same places, and also the properties which were predicted by the Mendeleev was almost correct properties shown by these elements. Now we know these elements by the name I am telling you here. A का aluminium is gallium. So I can keep here gallium, Ga. A का boron means scandium. So now we know that here is scandium, and A का silicon means germanium. So here I am going to keep this Ga. So these elements, A का aluminium, gallium, A का boron, scandium, and A का silicon, germanium. These three elements were found to be discovered later, but as we know, Mendeleev has already predicted these elements. Most of the time students find it difficult to remember which one was A का aluminium, which one was A का boron. So I made a very simple trick to remember these. So let's see it. Al, Gal, Si, Jar, Bos, Ka. So you can learn it this way, that A का aluminium means gallium, A का silicon means germanium, A का boron means scandium. Algal, Sijar, Bosca. So you can learn it, you can read it many times so that you can remember it. So these were the three predicted elements. So we can say that he has predicted the undiscovered element and found to be correct. So this was one of the greatest achievement of this table. Apart from that, one more thing was there in this table, that was after certain time when the noble gases were discovered, these noble gases were kept in his periodic table without touching the rest of the periodic table. Means that entire table was stacked as such, nothing to be changed in this table, and all the noble gases were kept in a separate column, and this is kept under the name zero group. So if I want to keep these noble gases in this periodic table, how can I keep it? Here we have added noble gases along with this existing table without disturbing the entire table. So the new element which are discovered later on were easily placed within that table without disturbing the entire framework of the table. So this existence of the zero group was there, and in zero group we kept helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon, which were the noble gases. So let's see it once again, that what were the achievements of Mendeleev's periodic table. The very first and important achievement was that we could stack the element in such a way so that we can study them according to their chemical properties. Next thing is, he has left the spaces for the undiscovered element, which was the greatest achievement of Mendeleev's periodic table. Third thing is, when the noble gases were discovered, they were also given a place in the periodic table by making a separate column for these and without disturbing the entire framework of the table. But as we know, there were flaws in his periodic table also. And what was this flaw? The very first flaw is when the isotopes were discovered. Isotopes are the atom of the same element having different atomic masses. For an example, there are three isotopes of hydrogen, 1H1, 1H2 and 1H3. And these three isotopes of hydrogen are having same atomic number, obviously, because they are hydrogen and their atomic masses are different. Major objection of the people was that if you are arranging the element in order of increasing atomic masses, why you are not giving the different places for the different elements. For an example, this hydrogen 1, hydrogen 2 and hydrogen 3 should be given the different places in the periodic table. So why Mendeleev was not giving the different places for the different isotopes? But the explanation of Mendeleev was that I am arranging them in order of atomic masses, but my concentration is on the properties of element also. So just because H1, 1H1, 1H2 and 1H3, all of them form the same type of oxide called H2O. The formula of oxide made by all the hydrogen is R2O. Hence, I am keeping all the hydrogen here. I am not giving them different places because chemical property of these all isotopes are same. So that was the explanation given by Mendeleev. Second flaw was that he has kept two different kind of element together in a single group, and this was the very important flaw of his table, that he has kept two very different kind of element, most reactive with the least reactive element he has kept. So this was also a flaw of the periodic table, although he has divided his group into two parts, but that was a flaw definitely. Apart from that, we have this 8th group, and in this 8th group 333K 9 elements 333 group में they were kept without any kind of explanation. Apart from that, there are some anomalous pairs in this table. Anomalous pairs are those in which element with the higher atomic mass was kept before the element with the lower atomic mass. If you observe this here, you can see nickel, whose atomic mass is 58.1, is kept after the cobalt, whose atomic mass is 58.9. So you can see here that atomic mass of cobalt is higher, so it should be, the position of these should be like flipped. Okay, but Mendeleev was not changing it at all, because he was saying that the property of cobalt resemble with this and nickel ki property is resemble with palladium and platinum. So he was not changing the position of the elements because he was totally convinced with the chemical properties of these elements, and whenever he had to compromise, he was compromising in atomic mass, but he was not compromising in the chemical properties. And we know that absolutely many of the elements were still kept in the same way as the Mendeleev has kept there that time. And not only this, there was many good things happened during this formation of periodic table. That is, there was element called beryllium. At the time of Mendeleev, the atomic mass of beryllium was taken as 13.5. But when Mendeleev was started arranging it in order of the increasing masses and he was assigning the valency of the element, he found that the valency of element beryllium is 2, and accordingly he has given the atomic mass of the beryllium 9, and now we know that the beryllium is having atomic mass 9. So there were many areas, there were many elements whose atomic masses were corrected by the Mendeleev during the preparation of his table. Okay, I hope now you know all the things about Mendeleev's periodic table. What were the elements with which he reacted, all the elements discovered that time, how many groups were there, how many periods were there, and most importantly, in this chapter you will be getting the questions from the achievements of the Mendeleev's periodic table and the flaws of Mendeleev's periodic table. In the next video, we will discuss the new periodic table called modern periodic table or Bohr's periodic table. I hope this video will be helpful for you to understand this table. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share it and subscribe it. Thank you very much.